lessons. Let's move on. So we did multiple choice yesterday, multiple types of listening questions, and I gave you spelling of names and as an assignment. So if you didn't do it, I'm not going to you know how we do sometimes. We punish those who make an effort and reward those who didn't make an effort. For example, if I now say, oh, since it's just so a few did it, let's just do it now. No, that's not going to happen. You will still do it later on, not in the class. Or you know how that people come early for a meeting and you keep them waiting for those who come late because you can't start until everybody's here. One of my leaders in church, if they say a meeting is 8 o'clock and she's the only one, she will start the meeting. If the meeting is supposed to end, gradually it became a culture to just show up in time and close in time. You can be sure that if that meeting is starting at 8, she's going to start it, whether you are there or not. So keeping those who come early waiting because you're waiting for those who decided to come late, right? It's like punishing. So I will not, let me not talk too much. I know you got the message, right? All right, sentence completion. So judging by the test we have had, we have tried to give you, help you realize that what you write as your answer, how you write your answer is as important as what you write. And how you even write it is key. Like, there's somebody who sent me a script yesterday. If you know that your handwriting is, you're not sure, I think you should legit just send it to me. Okay, the screenshot, because you've seen the answer sheet. If you have not seen it, let me show it to you again. It's just a small, you'll be given a very small space to write. So if you like to write, like they told you to occupy everywhere, you're going to have to adjust. Okay, because the space you'll be given to write the answer is not going to be a lot. So better start learning how to manage space before the exam. Okay, in case you've forgotten, I'm going to show you the answer sheet again. So you can see the small space. So when you are doing your exercises, you have to be ruling your book like this. You're dividing your space into two so that you are not under any illusion that you get a lot of space. Okay, see the small space where you're going to be writing. So if you take a sheet of paper, divide it into two, and then so you have the right space to write. Okay, how you write is very key. Get used to writing clearly, normally, as a matter of not that you're waiting. You say in the exam, I'll do the right thing. Make doing the right thing a norm, because water always finds its level. Okay, when you are pressured, you find your level. How you have been doing it, you this is by default. You write it like that because something else is taking your attention, right? It's just like when a woman is in labor, you don't care to do fine girl again because you're in pain. So same thing when you are pressed, you're trying to meet up with time. What you have here, that's what you give. That's why you see some people, even in the exam, they abbreviate. They don't know that they've abbreviated because they weren't really paying attention to that. Okay, so you may be required to fill in a gap and your answer must fit into the sentence grammatically. Very key. Now, one way you know that your answer is wrong is if it doesn't fit grammatically, but because it fits grammatically does not mean your answer is correct. Okay, but you can tell that it's wrong if it's not fitting in grammatically. It can just be you're supposed to write A to make it fit in grammatically. Yeah, we talked about articles yesterday. So those of you doing the computer-based test, the link I gave you yesterday, please still go there. And then those of you writing the paper-based, yeah, so there are people who are quite tech-savvy. So if I give you people who are quite tech savvy, right? So if I give you like a PDF separate and the audio separate, you'll be able to you'll be able to pull it off, okay? And not be asking, if I open the video, how will I open the text? But if you know that you can't pull that off, use this link. But if you know that you can, hold on. So this was paper-based test takers. Open the link and answer the question. Adam Abiola, check your chat. So those of you writing the computer-based test, the link I dropped yesterday, open it and locate your sentence completion questions. Those of you doing the computer-based test, you have no business doing the computer-based test if you are not if you are not good at computers. So that is a criteria. So I believe you can find it, right? Can find the link without asking me where is it. Some of you didn't ask me for where the answer is yesterday because you figured it out. So figure this one out. So yeah. So if you know that you can open the text and the video separately, check. I have dropped the link and then the PDF versus the audio separately. I'm going to have to mute everyone so that your ability or your practice is not disturbed. Any issues? We are good, right? You have found your question. Okay, so I'm assuming you have. If you haven't, drop a message. All right, please be fast. Remember, it's not a submit anytime you finish kind of thing. So match your break.
The other thing I wanted to ask you was, did you find it hard studying with the Open University?
Oh, hello, hello. You should be done now. Some of you have started dropping your scores. Great. So, Kesina, which one did you do? Fazat, which one did you do? So this definitely not this one, because this is just 4 questions. Yeah, definitely not this one. Peace. Okay, CBT. Peace, I've answered your question, right? Did you get my explanation? Peace, did you get my explanation? All right, so remember that I always say that it is what you learn from your practice that is important, not the actual test, because this test is not the test you're going to get in your exam. Okay, so what did you learn? Any tricks? Did you unravel any tricks or uncover any tricks? Or what pattern did you notice? Oh, I muted everyone. Okay, so everybody's unmuted. So if you want to say something, kindly go ahead. Yes, now did you do a computer-based test that has just 4 questions and then you mark 6/8? There's no CBT. This is a CBT question. It's just 4 questions. So you probably did the paper-based. All right, it's not a problem. You can always go back and do it. Any observation?
Yes, I noticed that for the listening one about the fireworks is a bit tricky in the sense that there are some words mentioned that you have to answer, and if one is not careful, you might get the answers wrong. For instance, let me see, I think it's the number 8 of that, the magnesium. I don't know if I got the spelling, the pronunciation right, magnesium, and I think that's about the only one that looks or sound a bit tricky for me.
Okay, but did you observe how they change the words? Because like the question number 1, the number 1 had specialists, but
Yes.
audio, they didn't use specialists, right? They use another word.
Yes. And then the way they use
Yeah.
to firework. There are some places where it's used as firework, and there are some places where it's used as fireworks.
Correct. So there's a transcript here. Okay, I do not recommend that you read the transcript before, but you can read it if you are wondering what did they say. I didn't hear when they when they called the answer. So reading the transcripts can give you a hand. Okay, and then please do not forget that they are going to paraphrase and they are going to rephrase. Like here, you can see that they actually they replace add with include, they replace put in with placed in, invented by, first made by, made, created, appeared in, made their way into, launches into the air, shoots into the air, particular, certain, used to give, gives off. So this is a recurrent thing. They are going to try to do not expect a word for word kind of thing. Okay. All right. So if there is no other input, we have to go.
I have a question, please.
All right. Who is that?
Okay, this transcript, will it be during the exam? Are we going to see this transcript? Or it's
No,
just
you won't
for...
get a transcript. If they give you a transcript, what is the meaning? Transcript is
I
for
just
learning
want to know.
purposes here. You won't get a transcript.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no transcript. There was somebody else who had a question.
So I wanted to say that for whilst writing down your answers, if we're going to be putting it in capital letters, there's that one that has 13th century as the answer. So that TH is also in caps, right?
Yeah, you can't go and write it on top now. The way you
so you have to put it beside it.
Typing. So write it normal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm sure they gave you options. Didn't they give you options? of how to write it. Let's look at the answer. Did they usually
don't
give
think
options?
so.
13th. Yeah.
No.
Okay. So this obtains. If you notice how they wrote this answer, chemicals is all small letters, shell is all small letters, Chinese, the first letter is capital letter because Chinese is a proper noun, right?
Mm.
Yeah,
Yes.
band, all small letters, 13th, I mean, that is the given. Rocket, same thing. Roman candles, the specific name of something, so capital letter R. Magnesium, I think magnesium, I can't really tell why it is capital letter, but I think it's because the answer is the first word.
The first word in the
In
sentence.
the sentence. So that's why. So if you don't want to be bothered about these rules of grammar, you can write everything in capital letters and you'll be fine. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So let's proceed
I have a
to.
question.
Why
It's
are
a
you
big
sounding like you're
question.
in Canada? Can you come
I'm not
close?
in Canada.
Hmm?
I'm not in Canada.
You're sounding very far away.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe because I'm using my earpiece. Can you hear me now?
Okay. Better.
Okay. Please, can you recommend like audios that we can be listening to that can help us improve
But I showed you
our listening?
yesterday now. Didn't I show you yesterday how to get some? Okay, I'll show you after this class. I'll show you again. I believe I did. The audio you'll be listening to is the audio. I'll do that after the class. When we finish, just remind me. I'll show you where to get it. No, even though I did yesterday, but I'll show you again. All right.
Okay.
All right. So the next type of question now would be don't know why this is just stand. It will be form completion. This is like the simplest form of question, but it is not. It's a maybe kind of question. It may feature, it may not feature. But multiple choice and sentence completion, there's no test to rewrite where you will not have that kind of question. Okay. Now, for form completion, it's just like a form, a normal form that you feel maybe you want to book for something, you want to open an account, those details they ask for. All right, so there'll be two people, one giving and the other one receiving the information. So some of the information will be removed from the form and you'll be asked to listen in and fill them. That is where this is the kind of question where you get to spell names of people. Okay, there's no particular type of question that is called spelling of names, but in form completion, you can write names, email addresses, phone numbers, preferences for whatever the person is booking for. Now, this is this kind of question that made me say beware of silly mistakes. Okay, it's very easy. They will set traps that may, if you are not careful, you will write what was already in the question as part of your answer again. Okay, and that will make you miss the answer. So pay attention to the number of words you're supposed to write. Do not write more than the number of words. Okay, so those of you writing the computer-based test, please check if you have form completion in your column. If you don't, use this link. Okay, I'm not sure you can type inside. I'm not sure you can type inside, but just try. If you do, no problem. Um, Please do not download anything. Do not download anything. Just leave. All right, so we should be done now, right? Should be done. Who did this computer-based bits? This one that I have on your screen. Who did that? Who did this one? This very one. With all the diagrams. All right, so how was it? Any challenges? Did you hear when they said not
Yes, I
eight?
did.
All right, so sometimes they call 0 knots. Okay, did you also some macros? All right. All right, so anything? Okay, so you see, if you look at number 6 here, it is very easy to write shared in your answer as well. It's very easy for you to write shared flats. And I hope you didn't, because that thing was a trap. Okay. It's one of those silly mistakes I talked about. So you really need to be careful, because they deliberately set this kind of traps for you. Okay, I mean, it is what it is, right? So form completion questions are, you may come across them, you may not, but you should still know how to go about it. So it can be as simple as this. It's pretty straightforward, or be as complex as you having to, do something like this, right? So, but the bottom line is, it's still a form, okay? So let us proceed if there's no other questions or comments. Let us continue. So our next question now is, so note completion and form completion, they mean the same thing. So we have summary completion. This is a typical part 4 type of question. Sentence and summary completion questions. Find them in part 3, part 4. Summary completion question is usually one of the most complex questions in the listening test, because the questions will be summaries of sections of the passage. So there'll be a lot of paraphrasing. All right. Kesna, you want to say something?
Yeah, sorry. I know this might be a dumb question. Anyway, for the form completion, would there be time for us to write the answers in the sheet of paper, then transfer it for the CBT?
Said, I can't hear you. Your voice is really low. Hello?
Can you hear me now? I said, will there be enough, or just have to transfer answers? Write it on the computer? Why? I'm just asking.
No,
I'd like to know.
no, if you are writing computer-based, just write it inside the screen. Okay, don't write on paper. Because the paper-based test takers, I mean, they get extra 10 minutes to transfer. You just get 2 minutes. So you can write inside, delete, and then, right? So it will be a distraction because the question and the you're writing the question, the answer inside the question, and they are both on the screen. Coming back to write and then going back, I mean, I don't think so. Anyway, in the mock exam, when we have our mock test, you can try it and see if it works for you. Okay, but even reading, I did not see the need. Is writing that you can write your points down and then develop it on screen, but for reading and listening, there's no point. If you're writing the paper-based, of course, you can underline. That's the advantage in paper-based test. You can underline, you can, can flip, you can, what scrolling and scrolling is what you face, the CBT. So to answer this question, you need to learn how to paraphrase and summarize. Yeah, no problem. That's not a problem. To know this question, you need to learn how to paraphrase and summarize passages. We try to do that in the writing task 1. So the questions will summarize several aspects of the clip, and they are paraphrased the question. So there will be notes you will need to understand what they are saying to be able to pick the answer. So that is why it is a bit more complex. Okay. Yeah. So it's just like if you read a maybe a 1-page article and ask you to summarize in 2 sentences, something like that. So there'll be a lot of compression and then narrowing down to the main points. Okay. So reading the question before the audio starts playing can help. Okay, that gives you a brief understanding of, helps you predict the answer. Okay, so try to understand the general meaning, use the questions to predict what you're going to hear and then predict the answer. All right. Questions are just paraphrases on what you will hear, and you will therefore need to consider how they might have changed the sentences, because they will. All right. So this Terracotta Army is quite advanced, and then I think I recommend it for everybody. There's a movie acted by Jet Li on this particular subject, Terracotta Army. It's actually a mint. Oh, okay. So I have dropped it there. If you notice where I can, then those of you doing the computer-based test, let me see if you have summary completion in your. I don't think so. Okay, so there is none. So you can use the link I dropped in the group. Let me see if there is a PDF version. I don't think there is too. I think so. Okay, so we are using that link, Terracotta Army. Terracotta Army.